This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Our goal with our videos is to empower you to be able to do the repairs on your own and save a whole lot of money and also get that great feeling of having fixed it by yourself. Video glasses that have this tiltable lens. These are really good. Down the road though, as they age, they start to have an interesting symptom where they no longer power up, and if you plug them into a power source, if you look, there's a red light blinking right there, and that's the battery indicator light that normally should be just red, a solid red. But if you have a fast blinking one, that means that something's gone wrong with the battery. It could be that the lithium battery is finally not able to charge anymore because of too many cycles. Another possibility would be that, just inherent to the design of these glasses, they have to fold back and forth over and over. But within this area, there's a red and black wire that bring power from a battery that's right here. This is where the battery lives, on the right side temple, and it goes through a wire along the top area here and goes over to the processor right here. And what could be happening is that over time, this being folded back and forth over and over, or even this one being folded back over and over, creates a weakness in the metal inside the wire, and the wire breaks. So we can see that red light blinking, which means there's a battery problem. But it's interesting, if you bend, I don't know if you guys can see this light, if you bend this left temple inward at one point, I don't know if you can see that, but the red light now actually goes solid, and that means that the battery is working. It's sending power now to, I'm sorry, that the battery is charging properly. And now what's happening is the wire that was broken inside this temporal area, the red and black wire, one of them broke. By changing the position, it now makes contact again and sending electrons to the battery. When I extend this to the normal position, now the light blinks again, and that means it's lost contact with the battery. So the wire is in a kind of broken state. At this point, as I bend it in, then it makes contact again. It's very interesting. Solid. So we'll show in the video how to take that panel off and repair that wire. I'm going to remove that little plug, but to do that I'll use a small standard head screwdriver. It's really dinky. And I'm just going to kind of edge in on the side of it and then pull that out. There it goes. It's really tiny. Okay, that came out, and now we can see the little Phillips head screw in there. And then I have another one that's underneath the sticker right here. I'm just going to peel off this little sticker right here. Comes right off. And then there's another little rubber plug we're going to get out, same way as before. I'm going to use that same technique for this rubber plug and this rubber plug right here. So I'm just using a little screwdriver to get that out. And there's the screw underneath. And I'll do it on this side too. And that's going to allow me to get this panel off pretty easily. But I just got to get those two screws out first. There we go. And there's the screws. Alright, loosen these two screws, and now let's see if I can pry off this panel. These are kind of snapped into position, and they're water resistant, so it's a pretty tight fit. You can like wedge something in. There we go. I'm going to pry off this panel now. Got to retain, make sure I retain those two screws. There we go. Kind of wiggle that off. Okay, there's that panel. There's our processor. And there is a screw that holds in the processor that lives right there, very small. It's a Phillips head. I'm going to get that one out too, because I want to take this processor out. There's actually one behind it too, but I want to get this one off so I can solder behind here where the wires come in. I want to redo those. So I'm going to get this little Phillips head screw out. Just try to save these little screws because they're important, especially this one, because this one pushes this panel that we're looking at in securely against the back panel, and there's a modular plug that puts them together so they can talk to each other. And you want to notice that when you pull this out, there's a wire in front here that goes to this vibrator. That's the one that creates the vibration, kind of like on your cell phone. So make sure that when you reinstall it, these wires are in the front of this processor. There's our little screw. Okay, so now we can get this panel out. Okay, I got that screw out. Now I'm going to give this a little leverage to get this panel out. And then I can get behind it to do the repair. You can see there's another panel right there. I'm gently going to pull this one apart. There we go. So the way these two panels talk to each other is there's a connector here, goes into that one right there. So you got to make sure you push those together when you do your reassembly. So I'm just trying to expose the back here because I want to resolder right there and right there. And this little guy is the microphone on the left side. So it has two microphones for stereo. So I'm just going to get this exposed. Now we're going to get this panel off here. I happen to have one of these 9-volt battery connectors with the red and black. This is a heavier gauge wire than the original. You can see the difference. But it's frayed, and that's good. This is more flexible. This can take it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Less likely to break. So I'm going to use this wire. I'll just cut it here and we'll splice it in. There we go. So I'll remove a little bit of the insulation. These are interesting wire strippers. And then when you do these frayed ones, it's good to twist them because it makes it easier to solder. Alright, so these will be the ones I'll use to patch in. I'm going to use my soldering gun to heat up this little piece of solder here, and I'm going to pull this red one off and replace it with this new red one. I'm going right there, and I'll do the same one on the black side. I'll get that one out and replace it with this one. So for this, I won't strip out a 1/4 inch. I'm just going to do a little bit because I don't want that. I just want a little bit that's going to fit in to that circuit board, like that much. I don't know. That's about 1/8 of an inch. Same on the red side. And once you do that, these glasses are going to be like new, because the thing that wears out is the battery, and sometimes these wires break, but otherwise pretty tough. That circuit board will last a long time, and the camera and the plastic frame's pretty tough. So these cost about, they no longer make the Rincon. There's similar ones made, but they cost, probably at least $150. So for basically $7 or $8 for a new battery from Amazon, or you might not even need a new battery, just a new piece of wire, maybe $1 at the most, you can get these things going. It just takes a little bit of work. So these guys are all ready. The ones that's going to strip in and feed into here are longer, and then the ones that are going to go into the circuit board are shorter. So here's that fresh water wire. I'm sorry, I already fed it through to connect to the processor. I want to do that for the black wire too. So I'm going to pull this back to create a little more room. Take the black wire and I'm going to feed it through that little channel. Try to look for it once it comes through. Be patient, try a few times. Not much room there. I see it. I see it. There's my buddy. Okay, I got the black one. Alright, I'm all set. So I'm going to do my connections here, and then once that's done, I'll do my connections here. And I am going to use a little piece of this stuff. You don't have to use these, you can use tape. But these are kind of cool. You put these on and then when you heat them up, they shrink and they can insulate where you did your solder joint on connecting the wires. What I'll do is go ahead and feed this over this wire. So later, once the solder connection's done, I can put this over and then heat it up and it'll seal it really well. Negative. So the one on the left is a little plus sign, the one on the right is a little negative sign. I'm going to heat up these solder joints now so I can remove these little guys. So we soldered in a thicker wire. Here's the original, and then we're going to use this thicker wire. Maybe it'll take the bends better. Got it soldered into the red for positive, black for negative, into the circuit board. Ran it through, and now we're going to connect the red to the red and the black to the black. We can do a circuit test, make sure it has power. If it actually, I'll plug the module in first and then make sure it has power and it's working, and if it is, we'll just button the whole thing back up. So my next thing is to kind of get this module back into position, and that'll let me know how long I need to make this piece. Add a little heat. A lighter underneath these guys, it just shrinks them up more, which is good. It's going to give good insulation and also a little bit of structural support. So we have the connection now. If we turn on the button, if everything's working, power should go from the battery through these new wires over to the circuit board. Yeah, there you go. Turn off my light so you can see better. So these glasses are back working, and that's why they stopped, is the wire just got bent over and over and it broke right there. So hopefully this will help you get yours going too, and I would imagine this is going to be very similar for the other Ryobi models. I'm sorry, the other iView models, and also for other brands of these types of glasses. Click into place, and then once you got it all clicked where you want it, you can add those two screws back. That's cool. Alright, so we're going to add this panel back on, and you just got to kind of watch where that microphone, it's hard to see this, I know you guys, there's a little microphone right there. I got to fit it into this little thing here as I put it back together. These things are, everything's so tiny. Okay, I just got that panel back into position. Just going to push everything in, and then I'm just going to add these two little screws, one there and one there. All right, there we go. Cool. Back in business. Hopefully this will help you guys get yours going too. Thanks so much for watching our video. We really appreciate your support. And when you get a chance, please press the subscribe button below so you can be subscribed, and also the notification bell so we can send you more videos about appliance repair. Please also give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If you really liked the video and it really helped you, please press this new applaud button and you can show your support and also get a nice clapping hands for your video. Thanks again.